This is Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review with your NFL Week 12 betting preview. Usually every video that I've done here in the NFL, we go through every single game on the board. We're not going to be able to do that this week. It's a busy time of year. We got the Thanksgiving holiday this week, but we'll get back to that format next week. This week it'll just be my play of the week upcoming for this week. We'll talk about that game specifically. And the game that I've chosen for play of the week in NFL Week 12 action is the Carolina Panthers Oakland Raiders matchup, interconference battle. The Carolina Panthers have been off since last Thursday when they played the New Orleans Saints on that isolated Thursday night game. They won 23-20. Carolina has actually gone under the total in 3 straight games. Oakland's gone over the total in 4 straight games. So something's got to give here in this matchup, and I will tell you why. I think we're going to see some points scored in this game between the Panthers and the Raiders. That has me looking at the total in this game, sitting at 49.5 right now across the board. You look at Carolina's defense and you say, okay, maybe they're getting back on track on the defensive side of the football. They give up 10 points to the Rams. Well, Case Keenum's awful, and the Rams have no passing attack, none, zero at all to speak of. So how much stock do you put into that defensive performance? I know I don't put much into that. Then after that, they play Kansas City, and they lose 20-17. Now, granted, they did play okay defensively against the Chiefs in that game, but Kansas City's not an explosive offense. They're a grinded-out type of team. New Orleans, after that, a 23-20 win at home. But still, I have some issues with this Carolina team defensively, specifically their secondary. To me, their secondary is still not a group I trust. This past defense has been shredded at times, specifically by good quarterbacks, good passing offenses. You'll think back to the Atlanta game back in October. They give up 48 points to Matt Ryan and the Falcons in that game, lose 48-33, game sails over the total. On the road, you think of the way they played against the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. Drew Brees and that offense moved the ball up and down the field through the air against Carolina's secondary, and they lose that game 41-38 in the Superdome. That game also soaring over the total. Carolina's secondary, the miscalculation the Panthers made in the offseason was, okay, we can let Josh Norman go. We can let him sign elsewhere. Of course, he ends up signing with the Washington Redskins, and our pass defense is still going to be okay. We got guys that can fill in. Well, no, they don't. Okay, we found out they don't have adequate personnel to fill the void left by Josh Norman in not re-signing him and letting him walk and letting him re-sign or letting him sign with the Washington Redskins in the offseason. His past defense has not been very good, and now they're taking on one of the best passing offenses in the NFL in the Oakland Raiders, and Derek Carr, who has an absolute boatload of weapons to throw the football to in Michael Crabtree, in Amari Cooper, in Seth Roberts. You can go on down the list. Tremendous targets for him to throw the football to. And then just when you think, and the amazing part of Oakland's offense and how good it's been, you know, look at what they've done in their last 4 games, all of them victories. 33 against Jacksonville, 30 points against Tampa, 30 against a very good Denver secondary, which was very impressive. Denver, one of the best teams against the pass in the NFL. Oakland still able to put up 30 points against them. And then last week against Houston in the game in Mexico City, on Monday night, they scored 27 points, and that's with the receivers not really doing much. I mean, Crabtree, Cooper, Roberts, they didn't have a huge game, but Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, who I think's done a great job with Oakland this year, calling plays and formulating a plan for this offense, he said, we're going to throw the ball to the running backs. We're going to get them involved in the passing game. And Houston, the Texans had no answer whatsoever. I think whatever Carolina is going to come at with defensively here, Oakland's going to have an answer for it. And let's not forget, Carolina without their heart and soul on the defensive side of the football. I think it goes without question that Luke Kuechly means everything to this defense. He's the captain. He's one of the leaders. He's always back there barking out signals, making calls at the line of scrimmage. Well, he's not going to be there. Of course, he left the game last week against New Orleans with a concussion, out indefinitely. No timetable whatsoever right now for his return. That's a huge loss to that Carolina defense in that linebacking core. Yeah, they still can get some pressure, but the Oakland offensive line's been very, very good. Donald Penn, this whole offensive line's done a tremendous job for the Raiders. keeping Derek Carr, from getting pressured routinely. I don't know if Carolina is going to be able to stop Oakland. But on the flip side, I think Cam Newton and this Panthers offense is going to be able to put up points in this game. I still have question marks about Oakland's defense. They've been a little bit better in recent weeks, but still they're giving up, it seems 20 or more points on a weekly basis. And I'm really concerned about the spot for Oakland's defense. A defense that was on the field a lot against Houston, Mexico City, very high elevation, even higher altitude than the games that take place in Denver for that game in Mexico City on Monday night. Now a short turnaround for that Oakland defense, which has been, struggled a bit at times and could be a little bit fatigued, a little bit gassed, having to play on a short week here. I think it could open up opportunities here for Carolina to run the football with success with Jonathan Stewart, and for them to find their offensive weapons down the field like Kelvin Benjamin, of course tight end Greg Olsen, who continues to have very good production in this Carolina offense. Great weapon for Cam Newton in the passing game. So I think Oakland's going to give up points, and I think Carolina's going to give up points. Without Luke Kuechly, with a very suspect secondary, and holes in the secondary is not what you want when you're facing this Oakland Raiders passing attack led by Derek Carr. I think we've got a recipe here for points in bunches, and I'm going to make it official right now. Let's take Carolina and Oakland over 49, the Raiders and the Panthers to go up and over the total of 49 on Sunday. That's your NFL Week 12 Play of the Week. All right, that will wrap it up. I'm Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. Next week, we'll get back to our every single game on the board analysis with this NFL video. Until then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.